All right, and we're back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Technical difficulties all squared away. It was Jay's fault.
It's not Jay's fault. Do I have to mediate now? Now I have to truly play, Kitchen Mother?
Day four, as we try to give you wall-to-wall coverage here on the Modern Eater stream. Just giving you great information. Food service emergency. We just posted in food service emergency, and that's from the Colorado SBDC, Small Business Development, talking about relief packages for Colorado small businesses impacted by COVID-19. And we're going to dig in and dissect that. We've got a full show for you, but I do want to get to this guest. She's been so patient.
Yes,
fantastic.
Thank you, Doctor.
Her name is Dr. Sarah Metz. She's with Code 4 Counseling. And Doctor, welcome and thank you. And finally.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you guys.
Yeah, good to
Thanks
hear.
for joining us.
I say right now, the only thing that's certain is uncertainty. And if you're not upset, you're not paying attention. But, in a business of food service and susceptible to drugs and alcohol and depression just to begin with, how are we're trying to unravel this as we go, but we thought we'd turn to the professional. And Doctor, just give a little bit of background about yourself and we'll dig in.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I think one of the things I've always been most passionate about talking with people about is stress. And usually when we talk about stress, we highlight the fact that not all stress is actually bad and that you need a certain level of stress in life to perform well. That doesn't sit well with people right now when the stress feels really, really bad. So
yeah.
Now what we really are trying to focus in on is helping people to manage all of the chaotic stress that they're experiencing and really help them to really just ride that out in a way that keeps them as healthy as possible.
Yeah, your background is a lot with first responders as well and emergency folks. That background is probably similar types of people. It's a service, the sense of servitude to continue on and do that right now. I think some people go, oh, geez, Greg, why are you putting this out there? Give us time to just be upset and pissed off. Is there something to that?
Oh, absolutely. I think human beings need acknowledgement, and it's essential that they feel acknowledged when they are, especially when they're frustrated and overwhelmed and stressed out. I give people the example of to help them understand how much human beings need acknowledgement. Think about the last time you were in traffic and you had a moment where you felt really kind and let somebody in front of you. What happens if they don't wave?
Oh, I get irritated. I want to thank you.
Now it's on. You have to wave. You have to wave and acknowledge me. I did something nice and I want you to acknowledge that.
I always go, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And so when we're not acknowledged, then all of a sudden we went from feeling super nice to the driver and say, I'll let you in ahead of me, to now I'm going to kill you and your whole family, right? Get pissed. If they then all of a sudden wave, then we feel a little bit better. But again, just physiologically, our system feels agitated, even in those really small moments on the highway, 5-second interaction with someone you've never met, you need acknowledgement. So what I tell people is if you need acknowledgement in those 5-second interactions with a stranger, you need a lot more acknowledgement from the people around you on the day-to-day. And during a time like this, we need a lot of acknowledgement. People are absolutely allowed to feel stressed out, overwhelmed, angry, frustrated, scared. All of those emotions have to be acknowledged. And our job isn't to say, well, let's put a silver lining on that. It's to help them realize there's two different piles. There's this pile of really scary stress, and we have to help them be able to turn towards the pile of connection and love and gratitude and joy, which is hard to find right now through all of this, but it is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uncertainty causes a lot of just stress. And how do you just put that default, something that you set inside of yourself and inside of your mind that you can always turn back to, Doctor?
So uncertainty is one of those things that human beings really hate. We don't want to feel uncertain. We don't want to feel out of control. We don't want to feel helpless. But it's also important for people to realize every person, some more than others, but everyone has in fact felt that at different times in their life. And we all have a 100% success rate in surviving it. So helping people to realize this will be something that they can manage and overcome. There's absolutely no way I can give people the answer to how or what that journey is going to look like, but I can tell them, because they're all still here, 100% success rate thus far in managing uncertainty.
Interesting. As folks it's kind of this suffocating effect right now, as seemingly the walls are closing in and so much media is overwhelming people to the point of where, who's next, and especially in business, to where you're just losing everything around you to keep your footing. What I'm seeing right now from folks is it productive to reach out to others and talk about your feelings right now? Is that something you need to do, or is it just that emotions are raw and you need to keep to yourself right now?
I absolutely think it's a great question, and I think connection is huge. The nerdy doc in me will tell you the scientific research that shows the power of and connection, especially during times of high stress, is hugely important. Now, of course, that's going to look different right now as people socially distance and really kind of take some extra precautions. But the nice thing about technology is we can step away from all of the scary news and simply connect with our loved ones on various platforms. And that's really important. Now, it's also important for people to do it in a very mindful way, which means there's a difference between venting and bitching. And it's on a continuum. Yeah. And it's important for people to recognize that venting has value. Being able to say, I'm scared, I don't know what's going to happen, I'm losing so much, and I don't know when that's going to stop. That's venting, and that's valid. But the difference between venting and, I apologize for saying it, but bitching, the difference is venting is time limited. And when someone finishes venting, they're able to then transfer into the different mindset, which is gratitude and appreciation for what they do. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for letting me vent. What can I do for you? This helped me. I appreciate it. That is part of venting. If it's just negative, negative, negative with no end to that, that just becomes toxic.
Yeah.
How about paranoia? We're seeing a lot of paranoia right now as well.
Yeah, paranoia can be a really toxic energy, and it can transfer to different people. So it's important to really be mindful about sharing emotions, but also keep it contained so that it doesn't become just negative and paranoia, because that just ends up scaring everybody around you. Sharing your own experiences, but keeping it focused and not letting it get out of control. It's really important.
I think we've seen that, right? I mean, with the first couple days, we're on day 4, that the media, and social media has made so many of us so paranoid. I mean, I literally got up and rushed to Whole Foods at 7 a.m. on Tuesday because my significant other was like, well, what if there's not enough gluten-free food for you? And I went, oh my God. And then I went, this is
sweetheart.
Well, I know, but at the same time, I'm like, you just put me into a tailspin where I can't sleep because I just can't wait to get to the store. And there's this craziness that's going on. And I think there's something to be said. And Doctor, I'd love your opinion on this, on the fact that we are all touched by this. I think there's the silver lining is that you're not alone, right? Every single person that touches this industry, if you're not touched by it today, then I don't know where you've been, but I mean, you will be affected by this in some way or in another.
Well, that's an interesting point. And Doctor, we're practicing social distancing now. How do we come together through social distancing?
And it's a good question, because it's really important to continue to feel connected to people and to make sure people recognize they aren't alone. It is touching everyone in the industry, and really being able to share that. But again, this is where send text messages to people. Make sure that you're on FaceTime. Make sure that you're posting on social media, but sharing some gratitude and joy, because there is so much negativity and fear being posted right now that, yes, of course, it's important to stay informed, but it's also important to balance that. It's not a question of ignoring the news. It's a question of trying to find balance. If anyone has ever paddleboarded in their life, you get out on the water, and what's your job? You have to stay balanced.
Yeah.
Out one side, one leg is more important than the other. Both require balance. And so the negativity and the positivity both need to be there. Find creative ways of reaching out to each other. Old school, write notes, send them in the mail, get some mail out to people, whatever that looks like, is really just try to stay connected, because that is important so people don't feel isolated.
Is there a positive way to stay connected? And this is where I want to get a little in the weeds with you, Dr. Esoteric, if you don't mind. If you are to listen to government officials and media, they will tell you the worst is yet to come. Mm-hmm. And I really, within my circle, I don't know anybody with coronavirus. I don't know. I don't know if you do, but we're to be told that we will. And at that point in time, we have another virus that we'll have to try and thwart off, and that will be the social media virus of people giving videos of them sick. Your friends and family talking about the illness and how it's affecting them, getting deep into our lives. Do you see something? Is there a pattern that we might be able to acknowledge that may happen so that we can be prepared for that?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. First of all, I unfortunately do know several people who have been touched by this. Unfortunately, a friend of my husband's from Seattle did die from coronavirus last night.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And some of our responders have been diagnosed, as responders unfortunately will be. They're on the front lines. And so they are starting to experience the symptoms and be diagnosed. But I do think, to your point, we also don't want to just engage in the fear of, oh my gosh, everyone's going to catch this and everyone's going to die. There has to be a balance of kind of that what if thinking. Anxiety comes from asking what if questions and not having any answers. So then you're just thinking, well, what if, and you sit in that, and that's scary. So what we tell people is slow down and ask yourself, okay, what if? What if one of my loved ones is diagnosed? What would that look like? What would I do? What if, whatever the fear is, slow down and really look at that. In our case, some of our responders, this is a big part of what my practice does, is support responders. So for us, it was, well, what if our responders test positive? Then we do telehealth, and we support our responders in different ways. And so we're constantly having to answer some of those questions to help us build that confidence up that we can manage most of these scenarios. They're just scary scenarios. They're not unmanageable.
Mm-hmm. Very great insight there.
Great insight.
So also, I'm very concerned with folks within their own families and even business relationships. Avoid turning on each other with the immediacy of this. A lot of times, it's a terrible thing to see, but the closest people to you are sometimes the people who get the brunt of things. Can you talk a little bit about that, Doctor?
You're absolutely right. When we talk about stress, what we also talk about are what are the symptoms of stress? How do we know when stress is becoming an injury? A psychological injury is kind of how we talk about stress. And one of the symptoms of stress injury is irritability and anger, especially in type A, male-dominated industries such as with responders, and also in the restaurant industry. We see a lot of type A folks who like to control, and when they can't control, they get pissy. They get really angry and very irritable, and that's one of the most likely symptoms we will see. So it's important for people to recognize stress is incredibly high, which necessarily means that anger and irritability is going to be really high too. And that usually what we do when someone is angry on a kind of normal day, what do people normally do in the restaurant industry? If somebody comes into the restaurant, part of the shift, and they're angry that day, my guess is they say, oh, they're having a bad day, leave them alone, ignore them, and they'll just get over it, right? We tend to isolate. We isolate someone who's angry and say, they'll get over it. What we have to do is change that thinking right now and say what they're really saying is they're overwhelmed. They're stressed out, which leads to depression, which leads to anger. And so we have to lean into them rather than push them away. And that's very hard to do as humans. We usually do push people away when they're angry, but this is a time to really lean into that and see the people who are struggling, even if they appear angry and irritable, and try to acknowledge and support them through that.
joining us on the live stream today. It's a very special one. Dr. Sarah Metz, Code 4 Counseling. We're kind of going through the steps of not only what we're seeing, but just some of the default points that we can bring ourselves back to. One of the things that I always like to keep in mind, Doctor, is the saying, all things will pass.
Yes.
And even this will pass. And that's a matter of how you conduct yourself, how you would like to live, your stress management. Obviously, stress management is very important right now, especially during a time to where we're trying to have healthy, strong immune systems. Stress does terrible things to our immune systems and our stomachs. It's very important to get these things under control. In particular, in the restaurant service industry, we see a lot of folks that put all of their effort, their whole lives, their families' lives, and they're seeing it destroyed around them. I'd hate to think that there's going to be an uptick on suicides and resources for help to be at a minimum. But with your expertise, what are some of the resources, and even reaching out to you or others, of some of that advice so that you could talk to a professional?
Right. I think there are certainly resources out there, and the biggest is to be able to stay connected and to choose a mindset of resiliency and to recognize, like we said, this too shall pass, as you said. On a stormy day like this, I look outside and it's blizzard and the trees look dead and everything just looks barren. But what we also know to be true in nature is that does not last forever, and spring is coming. And I think human beings also need to remember that spring is coming in their life as well. Even when we can't see it, even when there's no sign around us that it exists, we know that it exists. Mm-hmm. So looking for those resources, I know that a lot of organizations are starting to post what some of those look like. Code 4 Counseling is one of those resources. We've partnered from time to time with Colorado Restaurant Association. They've brought us in to do some stress trainings with some of their industry folks. And we do try to offer some counseling, low-cost counseling. And so we'll work with them to figure out what that will look like for folks moving forward through Code 4. There's also a lot of crisis centers around the city that people can reach out to, the suicide hotline. So there are a lot of resources out there. But I think the biggest key is to internally really work on that self-dialogue so that we don't have folks really start to isolate and feel like they are catastrophizing what's happening.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to offer our services as a media platform and a way to stream any information that you may have available. You talked about those stress seminars. More and more these days, people are trying to get that online and be able to stream that out to folks. So if you would ever like to either join us in the kitchen and do one of those seminars, we'd sure love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. In closing, anything that you'd like to add, Doctor?
No, I think really I appreciate you guys having me on. And I want to acknowledge for everybody who's listening that we understand and we recognize that these are just really chaotic times. But really try to balance that acknowledgement in self that this is chaotic with also really preserving some time each day to really proactively look at your life and look for things to be grateful for and to be appreciative of. Because really having that mindset of proactive positivity is really one of the best things that you can do to try to help stay healthy and manage this time.
I get that completely.
Yeah.
I'm continually saying that even in the most devastating fires leave some of the most fertile soil when it comes. And I really appreciate you spending that time with us. Can we use you as a resource when we need to turn or?
Yes,
That's
Thank
fantastic.
you. I think the mental health piece is just so critical, like I keep saying, and being proactive. And Doctor, we just appreciate you coming on and sharing that. We have so many people in our industry who just don't know where to turn right now. And just hearing that they're not alone and that there are resources, it's kind of like a virtual hug, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm feeling.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very
much. Down
much.
the road here. See you shortly. Okay, there she is, Dr. Sarah Metz. Now that was
wow.
Did you need that?
I think we all needed that. I think especially today. I mean, we've all come in and spoken to how it's a weird rift, and we're all feeling a little off, and we're continuing to see friends and family and people we love that just have to lock the key and walk away right now, and who are trying to find a place. So feeling good about that.
Just listen, with all of this time in the self-quarantine, I always say another one of my sayings is wherever you go, there you are. And now you're spending a lot of time with yourself. Yep. I don't know if you like what you're seeing or what that is, but it's very raw and it's very peeled back. And this may be an opportunity, Rebecca, for some folks to do some of that internal reflection and that internal housekeeping of their own, and come out on the other side of this even healthier than you thought, even stronger than you thought, because you're going to need to be locked and loaded. Great show so far, Jay. Fantastic.
I'm waiting on
Thanks, Jay.
Our good friend Kevin Galaba over there from Friends and Family, because Friends and Family is doing a lot to reach out to the folks in need of a meal or someone to talk to. And a lot of us, that's what they need the most.
Survival of the fittest right now, and the war on small businesses continue. We're watching this as I get phone calls. I field phone calls from chefs and restaurant owners, and the consensus is we're getting a lot of rhetoric. We're having a lot of people promise us things, but we're not seeing the relief.
Yeah,
we're not seeing any help for small businesses. And in our emergency group, it is food service emergency. We have some resources for small business loans, which I want to have the conversation about that, because especially in restaurants, boy, do you need another loan? That's a tough thing. Talk to me about grants right now. People need cash and they need it quick. I think he's got a green screen on right now. I don't even know how you get a green screen. He must have an Android.
He probably does. Or he somehow is like a zoomed up background or something. I don't know.
Today's theme is where's the help on day 4 and hurry up and wait. They're two of the very difficult things as day 4 is. We've gotten a lot of reactions in the past couple of days. I think we're going through that sort of mourning phase.
We are.
The reality is sinking in.
There's different stages of grief. We're grieving a lot right now, and our entire community and industry is. And we're going to continue to just work through those phases. And right now, people are kind of coming up for air going, crap, this is real.
Is that a green screen?
Well,
what do you got going on there, Kevin?
Kevin Galaba joins us. Friends and Family is the group. He's our friend and he's our family. How's it going, Kevin?
Hey, Kevin.
It's going great. How are you?
Good.
As good as we can be.
Yeah, I know. We're just trying. Did you catch that last interview with Dr. Sarah Metz?
No, I just caught the last tail end. I just kind of popped in now, but good to see you guys are looking up, smiling, and taking care of yourself.
Just trying to do what we can, man. The hurry up and wait is a day 4 through May 11th is the projected date for us to get back to business. If there are businesses right now, survival of the fittest and pivoting and adaptation, which I'm seeing a lot of that right now. Let's just jump in. Talk about yourself, Kevin, for those that don't know you, and then we'll talk more about what you're doing as an organization.
Sure. So in a nutshell, industry professional. I've been in the food and beverage industry in Colorado for 12 years, more in other markets as well. But moved here to Colorado, didn't know anyone, started in the industry here and made my way up. And now I'm trying to do something for other people that are kind of making their way up in the industry too. So opened up a lot of great restaurants in Denver: Avanti, Linger, Euclid Hall, Jack's Fish House, bunch of good, really lucky to work with those places. But most recently, started a nonprofit organization in 2017. I called it Friends and Family. It's basically for anyone who's in the food and beverage industry in the state of Colorado. So restaurants, sales reps, farmers, distillers, brewers, whatever. So it's a big conversation for this community. And partnering with you guys has always been great. I've met so many great people on your show and love what you guys are doing, and very grateful for what you guys are doing too. So thanks for having me on.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate the time.
Cool. Yeah. So just to tell you, so I kind of sprung into action around the current situation and how it's affecting the restaurant industry. So I've got 2 things going on. One is a meal preparation and delivery project. It's being operated out of a church on 1373 Grant Street, which is about a block from the Capitol. There's a huge kitchen in the lower level. We're utilizing that. We have a reefer truck on site. We're accepting donations of food. We have teams of volunteers there every day from 8 to 3, prepping meals. We have drivers that are delivering the meals to homebound seniors and any other homebound families who can't leave. So it's just a pull up, drop off the meal, and take off. We're sanitizing everything. We're using every protocol and procedure we can to ensure safety in the kitchen and through the delivery process. So that's something I'm helping to organize. So some of the organizing partners are Focus Points Family Resource Center, La Banadosa, Comal Heritage Food Incubator, and Food Bank of the Rockies, among others. We're partnering with Fresh Point. We're partnering with We Don't Waste. We're partnering with a lot of people who have food. I'm reaching out to restaurants who might have, oranges and limes and lemons and grapefruits or whatever hanging around that they can't use given the current situation. So we're arranging pickups and deliveries of those, and that's all going to go into the meal and go right to the seniors. So that's going to go on for the foreseeable future. So that's the first project. The second one is through the nonprofit Friends and Family. I partnered with my friend Ryan Negley from Vapor Distillery in Boulder and my friend Marika Avanger, who's the GM of Zeppelin Station. So the three of us are coordinating basically a free meal for these sort of newly unemployed restaurant workers. So it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon to 2. And what's great about it is contact is really limited. All you're going to do is, so Zeppelin Station is on 35th and I think it's Wazee. So all you have to do is pull up front, you get a meal, and you drive away. So the contact is super, super limited, and it's real easy. It's a lunch and a dinner, so that feeds you for the day. We can do family style portions too if you have kids at home. We'll definitely
Great.
take that into account. So
that's free of charge.
It is. It's free. It's free for restaurant employees. Correct.
That's amazing.
Hey, Kevin, I just want to make sure that I have the right web address. Can you give me your friends and family website so people can go there and get some information?
Sure. The best place to find us, we're still working on the website. We didn't have any money, so we're kind of locking on a few things. But the best thing to do is on social media, look for us. We have a page on Facebook that's public facing, and then we have a group that's closed. You have to sort of apply to be a member of, which is super easy, and it's all free. But the closed group is great because it allows people to just kind of have a conversation without fear of someone taking a phone number or an email address from the public in industry. So,
Kevin, do you mind? Can you sign Jay up for the lobster and steak dinners?
Got all you guys signed up for. Yeah, you guys all done. Don't worry.
What kind of food are you have, and do you need help with donations of food?
So yes to donations, and donations will probably be better off at the first project I mentioned at the church at 1373 Grant, because with Zeppelin Station, what we're doing is contracting with some very generous liquor and beverage partners, and I want to mention them, like Stranahan's, for example, Brown Foreman, which is Jack Daniels, Gentleman Jack, Old Forester, and that portfolio. Also, Illegal Mezcal is another partner. We have a bunch more. I can't even remember the top of my head right now, but a lot of people are donating some money to that project. And what's cool about it is there are 6 restaurant concepts within Zeppelin Station, and each of the days it's going to be a different restaurant and their staff making the meals for us. So it could be Bud Long,
very cool.
Okay, whatever they're going to do. It might not be true to their menu that we have normally, but it probably will be sort of branded in that sort of food concept. So again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting March 24th, noon to 2. All you got to do is pull up, and I'll be right there out front handing out meals, and that's for the industry. So to kind of just give them a little support and relief during this time of basically no employment.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're taking people's temperature, I'm sure, Kevin. You're very well connected into the industry.
Yes.
And as service industry folks are shifting right now to find employment, what's your sense of what you're seeing right now? It's so interesting, these folks that are just servants to mankind, the servitude that service industry people have and the wanting to help. Is that running low right now, Kevin? Is morale at an all-time low, or what are we seeing?
Well, thanks for asking. I've spoken to a bunch of people. I just put up a post in my group for I needed 5 drivers today to deliver these meals, and I got an overwhelming response. Almost couldn't handle the response we're getting. I think we're still in the beginning stages of this, and I think people are still just trying to wrap their head around what's going to play out. However, everyone's got a little bit of savings stashed away in the mat, I hope, but I'm sensing a little bit of fear, and I'm trying to calm everyone down. I remain optimistic about the situation, but there's 2 situations. One is the virus outbreak, and the other is paying a mortgage. And so I think there's a little bit of anxiety, but I don't think it's out of control. I mean, we're smart people, we're capable people. Like I said,
Where's your microphone, in your pants?
Yeah, my question was going to be, I don't see you moving a muscle.
I know. It's like, where's your microphone?
Yeah, and it sounds like somebody's throwing your phone against the wall.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds like when you're out in the wind, really bad.
What do you have pants on right now, Kevin?
Oh, we can't start this early in the show with this kind of stuff.
Hear him.
Hold on.
What can I do to increase the volume for you?
No, you're good.
No, you're good. Yeah, I know derail like the seriousness, and I apologize. I'm the knock joke guy, but yeah, there was just a terrible noise coming on your microphone.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just moving the computer. Sorry. But to get back to your point, I think there's some initial anxiety, but restaurant workers, we're tough people. We're resourceful. I've had already some offers for some people reaching out to me to extend opportunities to the community. Some construction people have reached out to me, other industries as well. So I'm trying to connect people with all these opportunities that are kind of popping up here and there. I mean, Amazon's hiring, Costco's hiring. I mean, they're looking. People know about it. I mean, and they're reaching out and trying to sort of take advantage of this new pool of people that are available now. So I think we're going to be okay. Like I said, I remain optimistic. I don't want to create any waves, but we're tough people.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent out there right now, just twiddling their thumbs, looking to do things. What do we do to just make? And when we do rebuild from this, when we come up from the ashes, Kevin, I'll guarantee you that there's going to be some strong stuff going on.
I agree. This has really galvanized a lot of people. So many people are reaching out to me. The support has been amazing. Everything I post up on Facebook or in the group or talk about online there's so much love behind it. People are helping me get the word out, what we're doing. So I was hoping that people that have all this time can start volunteering with us. And if you're gonna be 9 hours a week, if you can spend even 4 hours a week with me, feeding some people, prepping some meals, driving some food around. The contact is minimal. The sanitation, of course, we're all kitchen workers, so the sanitation has been completely thought of and taken to the next level. So we're ready to go. We're ready to feed some people and come together and get this thing behind us.
I think that might be, kind of a segue for another segment of volunteering and job opportunities and just what's out there that we can do as a community. And Kevin, you do so much, and I thank you for that from just my full heart on this, because we need people like you. We need, we need to have that positive outlook and let's just join together and don't sit at home and be alone. Let's get out there and help. It feels good to help, doesn't it?
It does. I just worry that we're really taking a toll on an already tough situation for folks. That it's scary, but I don't think you can isolate yourself. I do think you need to reach out. All things will pass, including this. Yes. And I think that there's a lot of folks that are taking personal inventory right now, and some of the emotions are real raw. But I also want to encourage folks to take time for themselves.
True.
Follow your gut. What do you need? Do you need a little rest right now? A little downtime? If you do, take that opportunity as well.
I agree. I try to live by the motto. The cure for grief is action. Just getting out of the house, take a walk, connect with someone on the phone, just be active. To sit around and do nothing is where, sadness kind of kicks in. So, cook something, read a book. One of the things I want to do, a lot of the events I had planned for 2020 required gathering a lot of people together, which I'm hesitant to do. But there are some things I'm looking at, like a project I've always wanted to start is like a bartender's book club. Like we have all this time. What if we read a book a month? Even in 8 weeks from now, we could have read 5 books or something.
Can I do that? That sounds fun.
Or so stuff like that to keep people engaged, but still moving forward. Keep their minds occupied and keep adding their skills and improving themselves in the industry.
You're really emerging as you were before, but even more so now, just a leader and a pillar in this community, Kevin. So many people love, respect, and admire you, and
look up to him.
And it's an absolute no-brainer. When I see Kevin, I smile, I light up, and I see the other side of this thing, and I see hope.
I thank you, Greg, and all of you guys for what you've been doing for so long. And I love you to death, and I'd be happy to put some of your stuff in our group too. So again, a quick plug for the group, Friends and Family on Facebook. There's a page in a group. Get into the group. But if you want to put some stuff in there, some of these podcasts, we love to work with you and promote what you're doing. I love what you guys doing. I love your space. I love all of you, and your commitment to this industry is wonderful. So back at you. So thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
and actually we need it, because just like everybody else, we've got a list of sponsors, and those folks, they're trying to survive themselves. I don't even know what that list will look like, but as everybody else is jockeying for survival, we're doing the same thing here at the Modern Eater.
Very good. So all we can do is move forward and keep improving, look after each other, look after ourselves, and we'll get this behind us.
Virtual hug, brother.
Jazz hands.
Wait.
Okay, that's inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. There's my guy right there.
I always forget. Why did I join this? Oh, yeah, it's for the community. It's not about Kevin. You guys. Love you, Kev.
We'll see you in a little while. That's fantastic. Yeah, ask Kevin to give us a hug, and he just
it gives you a virtual grope. I mean, it's turned into a whole nother issue, considering my company's based on HR. So
people are coming in. You guys, people are coming in comments, and just know the stream is being shared throughout many Facebook pages. So if you want to comment and have anything that you want to get information wise to us, go to the Modern Eater page. You can like us there, but the real thing is just join the stream.
Yeah.
And that's where the conversations take place, there on the Modern Eater Facebook page. Had a great conversation earlier. If you're just tuning in, this is the Modern Eater live stream. We're trying to go wall-to-wall coverage as we continue on day four of a journey that's going to be long, and it's getting weird. Small businesses everywhere right now are suffering. They're looking for any type of relief that they possibly can. And it's coming in the way, a very small way of trickling in for business loans, which is devastating as its own. As a small business, you don't want to be saddled with debt, especially to survive. So everybody's jockeying for that survival right now. I think we have somebody else joining the stream right now.
You do. You don't see him. That's should be Mr. Michael Myers from Distillery 291 down in Colorado Springs, and Philip Raleigh.
Can you see us?
Hey.
Not yet. We're hoping
we did for a quick second, but it's just kind of a gray screen. There we go. Well, kind of.
I see a hand. Oh. There we go. That's Michael Myers right there.
Oh, here we go. How's that?
That's fantastic. I know where you're at, too. I know that guy. There's Philip Raleigh.
Hey, Philip.
How's it going?
Are you guys keeping your distance from each other?
No.
I know. Whatever Michael has, Philip has. I know that. So.
Well, and Kevin just ruined.
That's not true.
Kevin just ruined virtual hugs for all of us.
Hold on. Speak for yourself. I think he kind of had the right idea.
So, joined from the Distillery 291 bunker in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Here they are, Michael Myers and Philip Raleigh.
How are you?
Gents,
sanitizer.
Oh, geez, you guys. I love both of you, too. Okay, we'll start at the beginning, gents. First of all, Jay told me before this this stream interview that you guys are electing to take a stance of positivity. And I really like that.
We need that.
We are. 100%. I mean, I think the thing about it is
We are funny. We are, if you've ever got to meet us, we are. I mean, come on. We have a really good time. We like to laugh. Our distillery likes to have a really good time. And that's just the heart of our company from Michael is we need to move forward with positivity during this time and help support the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you guys are doing?
So we're doing virtual tasting room stuff. So we had to close our tasting room for people to come in and have cocktails. We are selling bottles out of here, and we do have a discount, special pricing for COVID-19 on our H product. And we are also doing virtual concerts. What else are we doing?
So every day at 2 o'clock, we have a check-in with our community and our hashtag 291 family. We talk about cocktails that you can make at home, supporting your local liquor stores still during this time as well, getting mixers, trying to have fun with what we're doing. One of the big things is our virtual flights. We put together 4 different flight boxes, and you can pre-order those online. And then on YouTube, we have one of our bartenders here who actually walks you through the flights just like you're here, so you can get 10 of your friends together, split that cost and still try to interact and have some fun with healthy people.
Hey, can we have a little taste of what that looks like right now
Yeah.
for our audience?
Yeah. Andy. Come here.
What?
What do you want?
Yeah, that's the best answer. You know what I mean? So and so, what?
Yeah. It's time to jump to it.
No, we're just talking about how we have some flight packages done. Get in here.
Okay.
Why don't you explain, Greg, explain to him like what the 291 Colorado Bourbon Whiskey is and how you introduce it in the flight that we just found.
Well, you need to get her to. You need, first of all, what's your name?
Candy.
Hey, Candy, you need to stand on a phone book. We can't see you.
I know. I'm so short. The people.
Yeah.
Wear like 5-inch stilettos or something.
Yeah, get that woman a step stool so we can see that beautiful face.
Shoes for Cruise has a kitten heel.
All right, quick question before we get going on this, Candy. Are you single and looking, or are you spoken for?
Oh, that's dangerous.
Oh my gosh, we're on day 4 and it's already becoming.
I'm sorry, it's the tattoos. All right,
Look what do you see what I'm dealing with by myself?
Leave me alone. All right, I'll let you get back to it.
These guys, so it's perfect.
Oh, that's true, actually.
She also rides a motorcycle. She's a badass.
That was Jay Parker asking that, just in case you're wondering. And if you get a friend request from Jay Parker, don't
Just block it. You're safer to block it.
I'm completely harmful. Don't worry.
So, Kim, why don't you just tell them what this is the bourbon flight? So, walk them through what's in the bourbon flight, and then
You pour, I'll drink.
So our flagship is about 8 spirits that we do all together because we're doing packaged ones. One of them is going to be our bourbon package. So we do 80% corn, 19% malted rye, and then 1% malted barley. We start with our unaged spirits, so our fresh. It is as fresh as the Colorado snow, as the label says. It's straight out of the still, cut with water, brought down to 90 proof. It's meant to replace tequila, vodka, or gin in a cocktail. You guys both drink it? So when Michael started, you can't really rush that aging process with whiskey, so we definitely had to teach people how to kind of cocktail with one of our clear spirits.
Cheers.
We make this thing called Whiskeritas, which is a really, really popular thing that we do here.
Our stuff's boring.
You guys want some?
That's boring.
Yeah.
No, we're drinking coffee
And water.
Oh.
so yeah, that's how the flight goes. It would go through every single one of these SKUs. Candy talks about it, and it's a really fun way to keep your friends entertained. Because we still have to come up with this new normal. We're calling it here of how to socially interact and virtually interact.
Yeah. Well, basically, you have cabin fever and you're drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the first time. That's why we're trying to get people to do quarantine cocktails.
Yeah.
And if people are, in Denver area and stuff like that, or all over Colorado, don't really want to go out to their liquor store, there is a reserve bar. If you go on our website, you can order the liquor and it will be delivered to you. So that's one way, because I know there's people that are concerned, anxious about going to a store and stuff like that. We still want you to support your local liquor store, and it does come from your local liquor store when they deliver it to you.
Now, you guys didn't say this, so you're not responsible for it, but I hear that whiskey kills coronavirus.
Yep. That's what I've heard.
Well, it definitely kills the pain on the inside. I think one thing that Candy was touching on too, we have a hashtag called #291family. We're asking everyone to share their cocktails, their quarantine cocktails, we're calling them. When you post those online, as we continue to be quarantined or restaurants stay closed, and what we'll be doing is actually sharing some of those recipes. Candy will be making them at 2 o'clock during the day. Yeah. We'll do some at 5 o'clock with musicians as well. Michael will make some of them.
Yep, and we're going to do some virtual tours of the distillery over the weekend as well. And we have hopefully a comedian coming in to do a 30-minute comedy hour type thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, I think pretty much every day we have somebody that we're talking to, or at least connecting with our community and trying to really make sure that we are still bonded and interacted as a community and helping each other through this tough time, because we all love seeing each other and now we can't, which is really hard for us.
Where's that sanitizer? You're
a
little close.
So, Candy, can I ask you, what's in the best quarantini?
So far, the one that we started with was the White Manhattan. That one was White Dog, Lay, it was Absinthe, and then it was Luxardo, like maraschino liqueur. It was phenomenal. That one was amazing. Pretty much every cocktail with 291 is always really good to me. So, yeah, I would suggest like that one's the best one. We did that on our story. We'll have a couple other ones coming up. Me and the other bartender are going to hang out at my house one of these nights and just start taking random things from my house and start making some quarantine cocktails from that for people at home who are doing the same thing. So
awesome.
Cool. So are you guys going to upgrade your equipment, or are you just going to use that phone in the corner there for all of this stuff?
We're using the phone.
We're new at all this. This is not our forte. Whiskey is our forte, not social media.
Yeah, we're talking to people.
But we also are supporting a lot of the local restaurants for takeout. We do lunch here, so we go and try to support takeout with local restaurants, because they're all really hurting and stuff like that. Dinner as well. So support your local restaurant that way.
Absolutely.
Bartenders.
Yeah, so we have community bartenders that are going to come in and do cocktails. We're going to be buying them lunch when they come in, and just really trying to be a beacon of light and love and laughter. That's what we're all about. And whiskey. Really good whiskey.
And really good whiskey. I'm having FOMO. Are you having FOMO? I suffer from severe cases of FOMO. If anybody knows me, the fear of missing out will kill me before this thing does. So you guys are having way too much fun for me right now. I just want to be there.
Hey, listen.
I think
it's
one of the things we didn't touch on is we've changed our hours during this time, and we're open every day from 2 to 8 to purchase bottles and be here in that aspect to make it accessible for anyone that's in the Springs, and just be here.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love it.
Or if you're in Denver and feel like driving down for a bottle or two, or a case of these flights that we're doing, come on down.
Great.
Awesome.
Hey, you guys, Jay Parker. I'd just like to say, as far as you taking the angle on positivity and having a little bit of fun and levity during these crappy times. First of all, you're doing it. That's great. Good job. And I'd like to say that out of all the distilleries that we've ever had on the show, if you were to say to me, hey, man, who do you want to go work with at a distillery? And this is, no BS, you guys. Where would you want to go or something like that? Distillery 291. And I don't even drink Right, and that's the truth, right? Yeah, I'm sober, and most everybody knows that. But it's like I would pick Distillery 291 out of the sheer Philip and Michael and being around them.
Well, now Candy.
Candy, yeah. Well,
she's my new virtual.
I want to revisit the party at Candy's house, and I just shoot over a little bit of just a little email with an address, and other than that, I think you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah,
thank you, Michael. Thank you,
very much
Philip.
for those kind words. We love what you guys do. We love being around you virtually for today anyway. But yes, thank you so much. We love that.
All right, Michael, I need you to do this. Can you walk around front so we can get all of the glory of this tracksuit that you're wearing? Let's see that tracksuit.
We'll see.
Oh no.
He says, I caught it.
No.
Sorry, guys.
There's
okay. Here's Michael.
There.
I'm a millennial. I don't work for phone.
Staying alive.
Now,
Staying alive.
Michael, you're not wearing a shirt under that thing, are you? Oh, you are.
That's a little disappointing, actually. I think when you're rocking the tracksuit, man, no undershirt, bro. You own that, Michael.
Michael, are those pants pullaways?
Yeah. Michael's.
I just can't, you guys. I just can't.
It's too much.
He's an actual Magic Mike.
Oh my God.
See how far you can take us back into the distillery. Yeah, give us a tour.
Yeah, we'd love a tour.
Give us a virtual tour.
We know.
Hey, Candy, if you're holding the camera, can you try holding it sideways so that
Yes,
picture opens? There you go.
There's this.
So I sit here. Philip sits there. Emily's there. Say hello, Emily.
Hi.
Hey, Emily.
We're social distancing while we work, and then the distillery. Oh, and Eric, our distiller.
Head distiller Eric.
Oh, who are we talking to?
What's up?
The Modern Eater.
Hey, Modern Eater.
We're just making sure there's not more than 10 people in there.
Yeah, we're the fun police.
I've laid on that couch. I bet that if that couch could talk, huh?
No, it'd have some good stories.
Oh man,
What's coming off the still right now, Eric? Rye. So this is 291 rye coming off the still.
look at that.
Yeah.
Not stopping production.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
So that's ethanol, right? Ethanol pouring out of there?
Yep.
Smell-o-vision.
I mean, right when you said that, I got that smell in my head of a distillery for sure.
Have you ever been to 291?
Bottling some stuff there.
Say hi.
Wow. You guys got it going there, huh?
Oh, and wait till you see. This is the best part. The tech labels are being put
Yes,
on.
Micah's putting
We
one.
got Colorado grain over there. And then we have our barrels and Micah labeling the deck. What's that?
Say hi.
Meter right now.
So we really do everything by hand.
Wow.
Like
talk
Michael.
about this a lot. It's a big thing of our company is we put pride into everything that we do. So they're all being hand labeled right now.
Get down on one of those labels. Let's see it.
Oh yeah.
And Michael, you sign every bottle of the whiskey, don't you?
Of the barrel proof rye and bourbon.
Gotcha.
I haven't done this in a long time.
We'll probably have to take it off afterwards.
Hey, be nice.
Oh, very high-tech system you got there.
Yeah, that's right. I see why you don't normally do it, Michael. That takes way too much brain power there.
You guys, too much. Thanks for the tour around here. Anything you want to leave us with?
Just fun, positive, laughter, all that good stuff.
Thank you. We love you guys.
We love you
We
too.
really hope this summer series is going to continue as scheduled, and we look forward to seeing you.
Loving you both.
Thank you, guys. We needed that good laugh today. I told our team, our groups on the live feed, that if they're not laughing by now, we've done it all wrong today.
Awesome.
Thank you, and Emily and Candy and the whole crew there. You guys just keep doing what you're doing. We'll check in with you periodically.
Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you, guys. There
Thanks, guys.
Be safe.
Right. Be safe, too. You know what's funny? It's Kevin Galaba. He just sat there the whole interview. Well, I think he was watching.
Yeah.
Kevin, what are you doing, man? Are you just staying
He's creeping
there?
on us.
He's just staying there. Okay.
He's committed.
Day 4, March 19th. It's a Thursday as we continue. Today's theme, Where's the Help? And hurry up and wait, Rebecca.
Yep.
A lot of folks are just in that, it's that you can't land the plane yet. You're just in a flight pattern, just circling and circling and circling.
And it keeps getting more and more stressful. We've all been on that flight that has done that, where you just want to land and you just want to get to your destination. And we want our economy and our industry to land sooner than later. But we understand it's going to take a little time, but the quicker we can get some answers, the better. And that's why Greg's been working closely with the Colorado Restaurant Association with Sonia Riggs, and we've been trying to pull information firsthand to get it out to you as soon as possible. There are petitions out there to sign. Get on it. I mean, just be proactive. I hate to say that over and over again, but also, we want to ensure you're taken care of.
Okay, Jay, we've got some guests lined up here. We're a little wonky and probably long on time with those guys there, but we wanted to just hang out.
Next up, so we are going to talk to Jeff Jabot. Jeff Jabot is a little bit more time friendly as far as when to get him. So next up
Jeffrey
is
Nation?
He's next up. So he's queued up for 3:45, which is 10 minutes. If you're green lighted, and I'm going to shoot him that text. So I just shot him the text. So that's who's coming up. We still have Nadine from over at Idle Wild Spirit. She might be available.
Tell me Nadine's last name.
Oh my God, man! I didn't even write it down on my version of the rundown, because I'll tell you this much. You know how many names I type, right? Just every day. That's one of the most difficult names. Hold on, I put it into the computer, so let me cheat a little bit here. I'll put it up on the screen.
Are we really getting this
we can
lazy
look
on
at
day
it.
4?
Marusik.
Are you going with that?
Marusakak. Marusakak.
Lay off the caffeine, Jay.
Marusakak.
Jay had caffeine today. He hasn't in a couple days.
Probably close to a year since I've had. I mean, now listen, let me throw my handsome face up here so people can see who's talking. I'm not a big caffeine guy, and that's the truth. And we can do this until Jeffrey comes on, right? So just entertain me here. I stay away from caffeine for sure, because the older I get, which is terrible saying those words, because I'm at that age where I am literally using.
You're in the class that's most susceptible to coronavirus right now.
No,
You're the elderly.
No, I'm not. But I'm at that age where you honestly go, like in the bar business that I have been in for a long time. I'll defer to the young guy to change a keg or to move a box or something. And that's not me. I'm normally like, how many kegs you want moved? And where do you want them? What's your phone number? Let's do this.
So you're not rushing off to the construction industry then?
No, I'm not. But anyway, so the caffeine falls in line with that. Where normally I don't drink caffeine because it just makes me a lunatic, right? And you're seeing a little bit of it, a half calf. This is only a half caffeinated coffee. And here I am.
And here we are. Day 4, we reset.
We're getting slap happy.
Things are getting weird, and as we're watching this kind of unfold throughout the days, and relief and help has really just been the theme. So we've seen a flooding of unemployment filings and the system just getting an overload. And as our bureaucrats and officials scramble to figure out the things that need to be done in order to stop the bloodletting and hemorrhaging of just the economy tanking. It's interesting times that we're living in, but there are very generous people out there. There's a run on a lot of things. It began to be TP, and now the staples are out there. People love their bread.
They do.
And they want to keep it flowing, and none better to talk to than Aspen Baking Company's founder and president, Jeffrey Nation, joins us. How are you, Jeffrey?
Good. Nice to be able to talk to you and share some of what's happening with me is happening with everybody.
Please, welcome to the show. I did a small setup on you, but if there's anything that I'm missing, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I started the company 26 years ago, right out of college, and have grown it to be a very successful business. And I have close to 100 employees. And right now, what's happened with the coronavirus, our sales, like everybody's, have dropped 75%. And we're trying to navigate, the new norm for now, trying to figure out how to provide bread for takeout. And I understand, all of the restaurants that we supply, hospitals, they're trying to figure out, how to make this work too.
Yeah. So your business model is food service distribution, not to direct to consumer or retail fashion.
No, the only retail that we do that's semi-retail is with Restaurant Depot, and so they sell a lot of our bread.
So in a day and age that's forced upon us to where some of the best quotes that I've gotten, Chef Brother said we didn't even do anything to screw this up. Didn't do anything with our hands to make these problems. These are problems that are foisted upon us, and pivoting and adaptation seems to be the theme. What are you doing with your company, Jeffrey, as you're trying not to see it just die out in one fell swoop?
Well, what I've committed to with my employees is I'm keeping them all, and I'm dipping into my line of credit so that I can make payroll. I'm not saying that everybody's going to get the same amount of hours and time, but at least they'll still be able to get some money and buy food and for their kids, for their in-laws, whomever. But I'm trying to help take care of them because they've always been here to take care of me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Greg, you and I have both had the opportunity, and thank you for that, Jeff, for you to go ahead and walk through their facility and see the amount of production that goes on, the amount of workers that are there, the passion and the dedication. And, to have you hold on to each and every one of them right now is just unbelievable. I'm floored right now. It's incredible.
Jeffrey, as we try not to sit and mourn for the changing moments, right now's truth is going to be different than tomorrow's truth. The matter is that you're doing everything you can, and I'm by keeping those employees just warms my heart. I don't know how you're doing it, and probably they're able to retain benefits as well and get health care if needed. I'm seeing a lot of businesses trying to at least be able to do that for their employees. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to need some money to your business. And we're seeing right now, the theme of today is where's the help, and hurry up and wait. Small business loans may become available, but strapping in a business with such small margins to saddle yourself with even more debt just doesn't seem to make sense. What's your strategy, Jeffrey?
My strategy is that I'm willing to take the hit. I've got a line of credit that, thank God, I hadn't maxed it out, and my strategy is that if we can get to back to normal, we can start making money again, and it's just like rebuilding. And I started the company once and made it successful. I know that with determination and the employees that I have that aren't panicking and staying at home, and they're still coming to work. They have a passion for what we do and who we service and how we get it done, and we're all a team together.
Is there in your mind, money's not endless. It doesn't go on forever. I'm sure there's a strategy in your mind. Is there that stop date that you have of where this is where you hope to see that normal again?
I feel like I'm pretty well insulated for 4 to 6 weeks. The only the only thing that could happen is we don't know what the fallout from the people that have not been operating for 6 weeks that we used to service, if they're going to come back online, and if they can pay the bills that they owe us. And so that's a real concern of mine. That would be very difficult to navigate after that. But I expect that a lot of the banks that I do business with have already emailed me and said, we'll be there for you. We're just waiting for some things to come around. The other thing that I found out today when I looked into my business interruption insurance this week, it didn't apply to this type of pandemic. However, my insurance agent told me today that there is a class action suit going on right now, trying to make this mandatory as a business interruption insurance.
So, it absolutely should be. It absolutely should qualify.
So, that's going to, the insurance companies are going to, it's awful. It's awful any way you look at it. So, that option hopefully comes through, and it helps us survive and keep those employees employed and back to work.
Mm-hmm. Jeffrey, I think that Jeffrey Nations joins us from Aspen Baking Company. It's not a secret in food and beverage, and folks that know you, that you're one that has faced adversity and overcoming as much as you can with your battle with cancer. Has a lot of that battle through that transcended over to how you're applying this with the triage of business right now?
Yeah, I was diagnosed in July of 2017 with stage 4 blastoid mantle cell lymphoma, and I should have only lived for 16 months, and I shouldn't have had a good quality of life. But by the grace of God, I had somebody tell me to go down to MD Anderson, and I found a study that I got into that there was only 100 patients, and I was the last one, patient number 100.
Wow.
And I went from stage 4 with cancer in my bone marrow, my stomach, in my throat, to cancer-free the fastest out of any of the other patients. And that was, so I diagnosed in July of 17, and I was basically cancer-free January of 18. And then,
hallelujah.
Wow.
And then I had to go through a heavier chemo, which was pretty gnarly. But my employees, the ones that I'm taking care of now, took care of me when I was flying down to MD Anderson and gone for 7 days, and then, not able to work as much as I used to work. And we're a family, and you can't give up on your family. And I'm just not built like that. So I'm gonna fight until the very end, no matter what happens, to try to get everybody back to work and come up with a plan of what we can do in the meantime to augment sales so that we can, thrive when this thing comes back around.
Resilience.
What's the plan now? I'm seeing a little bit of curbside. Is that still doable for you?
I actually got asked that on LinkedIn, by the way, Jeffrey. If you guys, somebody on my LinkedIn commented back and said, will they be doing this again soon?
So here, I thought that was a great idea. One of the things is that we're not in a really easy spot to find or where there's a lot of traffic. But the other part of it that I realized was that I needed to make sure that the staff I had that has no symptoms
It's healthy.
Is healthy. And if we are putting ourselves in the public, knowing the places that we service, like hospitals and places like that, we need to be around so that we can provide for them. And I can't have an outbreak in the bakery. And so what I've done is I've done as much insulation as possible so that we have, everybody knows, little or no public contact at all when they leave work. And when they come to work, we're overly sanitizing, making sure that, you know, we're doing the very best we can to sustain a full operation until this can, you know, turn around.
You're doubling down.
Yeah.
You're just knuckling it, and that's really all that you can do. So, how can we help?
You know, you guys help me out a lot already, just from the advertising that I do, the chefs that I provide product to. I think that what the way you guys can help is just by doing what you're doing right now, but also, you know, letting your viewers know that we're in full operation. I can if for example somebody needed 1,000 loaves of bread tomorrow, well, it would be too late now, but by Saturday,
what time is it? Oh, okay. You missed the deadline, Jeffrey.
But by Saturday, we could pull it off and still have the rest of our production. So we're pretty flexible. We're pretty fast, and we don't make promises we can't keep.
Hey, Jeffrey, it's Jay Parker here. We spoke briefly earlier, and I haven't had the pleasure to meet you yet, but one day in the near future for sure. Regarding your advertising, I do a live commercial read for Aspen Baking every week, and with your permission, I just like to do it with you on the show because I think it would be kind of fun. And it,
wait, what if he doesn't like it?
Well, that falls under the rest of my life, where it's like I think I have a good idea, I do it, it blows up in my face, and then you know maybe I can learn something from it. Okay, so it goes like this. Back to the show in just a second, you guys. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about my favorite thing in the world, bread. And I'm not talking just any bread. I'm talking Aspen Baking Company. If you love hoagies, focaccias, ciabattas, baguettes, croissants, bear claws, lobster rolls, pound cakes, coffee cakes, then you want to go to Aspen Baking. But you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find preservatives, artificial coloring, or chemicals, okay? They don't get down like that. Hollis and Cody Ann over there will take great care of you. And if you're somebody that likes to cater the office or get some boxed lunches, they're now doing boxed lunches with delicious Rome sausage in them. AspenBaking.com is where you find all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. So back to the show. It's AspenBaking.com.
Very nice.
Hey,
nice.
Hey, huh? There you go.
Done.
That's just my 2 cents.
What about hashtag how's your
Oh,
Aspen?
yeah, and sometimes I throw the hashtag how's your Aspen.
That's good stuff. Jeffrey, what we're finding right now, and thanks for joining us. I know you got to get back to some things, but we're finding that as much as we do business with businesses, we really, at the end of the day, do business with people. And I think the relationships that obviously you've grown throughout the years, that you're probably going to see some times that are going to be difficult for other people, especially when money's involved, things get a little bit weird. The best thing that we can all possibly do with each other right now is just communicate. If you owe Jeffrey some money, or if Jeffrey owes you some money, or how that works out, just communicate and talk and see what you can do. Because when it's all said and done and the smoke clears, we're going to be doing business with each other again.
Yeah, and I hope, I know that Denver will come back. It's as resilient as any city that I've ever been in. So I'm excited for new opportunities and a new beginning.
Absolutely.
So, thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're giving you a virtual hug, Jeffrey.
I'm giving you one too.
Thank you, man.
Take care.
Okay, take care. Okay.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Nations, Aspen Baking Company. That was really
wow. That was great.
I'm thinking of the things that he's overcoming in his life, and he looks at this as just like a no-brainer.
Yep.
This is like, okay, we got this. 100 employees he's retained.
That's incredible stat. As we discussed yesterday, Troy had to let go of 600. We've had people that have had to let go of 10. That's devastating. I mean, the impact to each individual business is huge, but to be able to retain it, unreal.
Great interview. Thank you, Jeffrey Nation.
He's just a really nice guy.
Oh, he is.
You know,
Cody Ann says that he is the best boss she's ever had.
Yeah. I've never actually met the dude, but he's one of the people that I see around on social media a little. Well, not his social media, but I see him mentioned a lot, and through Little Rich, so he's like the dude where it's like I just want to hold him down and be like, be my friend. Do something with. You want to go somewhere?
Yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah, I'm going to the DMV. You want to go?
I'll call you later.
Yeah.
Okay, so the theme of today is where's the help at? Hurry up and wait. If you're enjoying this programming that we're bringing to you, and again, we're trying to do this all the time as the hours and days and weeks ahead, and the walls are closing in, and people are feeling this sense of suffocation, that we're trying to just be that light on at night.
We are. We really are.
That North Star. Just keep following it, and we'll take you where you need to go. From New York City, I think that he is. Are you in your house there? He is. Our friend and yours, the two and only, Jeff Jabot.
Hey,
well,
Jeff.
that's what I'd be in my house.
Nice. Chef, New York, you got a job?
What's that?
Are you employed?
Still, yeah.
Wow, that's unusual right now.
Yeah. Am I getting a paycheck though? That's different.
Yeah. What's going on in New York City? Are the streets empty? People going about their business? How are they eating food? Where are they getting it from? What are the markets like? What are the restaurants doing? There's a lot there.
Well, it's a little strange. I mean, when you look at a city like Manhattan or in New York in general, just, everyone comes into it from outside. So all these places stock for the outside influence. And I'm letting you know, these shelves are stocked. I mean, I have no shortage of food. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Almost too much. Because everyone lives in the other boroughs or New Jersey or whatever, and they're coming into the city to work. So when you're living in the city right now, it's a little strange.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Restaurants, how are they pivoting? How are they trying to survive? Are they shut down?
Well, they're all closed down except for takeout and delivery. So actually Frank Dominguez and his wife were in my place the last couple of days hanging out. We went and got pizza, and took pizza to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just adapting. It's strange.
They say that New Yorkers are some of the most resilient around. I'll go with Denverites because we love each other, tight knit group. But are people hanging in there together in New York?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. It's just there's a weird vibe because the streets are definitely quieter than normal. It's different.
New York has experienced, first trauma, essentially, obviously back in 9/11, which is hard to talk about. So do you feel like there's still just such that bond that it's just continued on?
Oh, for sure. For sure. We're all helping each other. You go on the streets, people are smiling. I think New Yorkers are some of the friendliest people I've ever met. And, they get a bad rep for whatever reason. But some of the greatest people I've ever met are here. And, we're all in this together.
Mm-hmm. We're hearing a lot of that right now. But, we say, where is it? Do you have it, Rebecca?
I think you took it. Day 4.
It's day 4 out of what's suspected to be many. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock just this last Monday came out to say that Denver will shut down its restaurants and bars until May 11th. So gave it an 8-week outlook. Is that outlook of 8 weeks applying in New York City?
No one's talking those kind of numbers yet. I'm afraid that Colorado's being a little aggressive on that, but that's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we have a lot of people who personally feel that way too.
Well, I look at it as, like I said, the haircut. You can't put the hair back on, but you can certainly take more off. So if they want to peel that back, that might be an option as well. New York City, a lot of small businesses, bodegas, those types of things. Is there a real worry, as there is here in Denver, Colorado, that small businesses are dying off quickly, and it will be very difficult for their return, especially with the lack of assistance and aid?
I mean, certainly, when you've got over 20,000 locations that are serving food here, depending on where you're at financially, yeah, there's a lot of places that are may never open up again. And I think that's probably one of the reasons this city is going to be the leader in how we attack this virus and move forward. I don't think they're going to allow the small businesses to go under as fast as other places might.
What are you saying, Jay?
I sent you a text. Would you just look at your phone? Yeah, thanks.
Jay sent me a text.
Jeff Jabot. I was talking to Jeff Jabot earlier. We've been bouncing back and forth with some text messages, and he was all fired up, man. And he's texting me things. Chev, your text, and I'm like, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. Is he serious right now? Like, what's going on? And then as I'm 4-paragraph text back to him, like, can you explain what? Then I get just an LOL. And then I knew that everything before that was just, he's like, I'm just messing with you, man, All
right, Chef Jabot, you're one of those guys to where you have an opinion all the time. You're a sweetheart of a guy. You are outspoken. I feel like you're behaving yourself a little bit more than usual. Is there anything that you just want to get off your chest, Chef?
I mean, I think this is a little bit blown out of proportion, not going to lie. I'm a little frustrated by this. And to see small business taking the hit like this, I think is irresponsible by our leaders. So that's where I stand. Let's go.
Let's get back to normal, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think we need to. Interesting times we live in. I guess there's a conspiracy theory out there for everything, and probably should be right now. All things should be examined on what we're seeing right now. For this to sneak up on us like never before is so hard to not only understand but to accept. I mean, we're just blindsided, and here we are. Basically, everything shut down. What are you doing to keep yourself busy there? Are you quarantined up there, Chef?
No, I've been walking around. The city's really quiet, which is kind of really awesome. You get to walk around and smoke a cigar and there's no noise, which is very strange. No, I'm working on a cookbook. I'm chilling. I'm, doing my thing. And I don't know. It is what it is.
Smoking a brisket?
If I had a smoker, yes.
All right. Say hi to your friends back in Colorado.
I miss everybody there. Not going to lie. Miss you guys big time.
Miss you too, man. Miss you too. Frank Dominguez, he's at the airport waiting to go home.
Yep. He said he had a great time.
He's messaging. Cool, man. When the smoke clears, I'd like to come out and visit you too, man. So keep the couch ready.
Always.
I love it. Chef Jeff Jabot. There he is, New York City.
Thanks, Chef.
The Ainsworth
Thank you.
Has still kept him, which, I think you got to keep that high level talent.
You do.
Chef, hang up now, Chef. Don't linger. Watch us on the stream and share it.
Share it.
Make sure
you have to share it. No, you got to go on the Modern Eater on Facebook. That's where it's at, so you can comment back to us.
YouTube's cool too. We stay on YouTube.
So I just
look at that.
Well, no, there's nothing. I took him off of the thing.
No, he's still chilling.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. So as I'm learning, we had a little technical issue earlier, right, with the microphone. So here's the thing. It's, and not for nothing, but I could take him off of there, but I can't stop his microphone, right? And it's like, yeah, there you are. So
why would you share that?
Behave yourself.
I took your video away, but I can't take him off.
So we have to rely on him hanging up.
Yes,
he can just
apparently
he can hijack this whole broadcast.
No, like I say, it's just the voice of God that sounds like Jeff Jabot coming over the screen because we can't see you anymore. But Well, I'm learning as I go. Thank you, Chef. It's good talking to you.
Thanks, Chef.
I love you too. Virtual hug. See you, brother. Bye. Comments coming in on Facebook. John says, I tuned in a little late to the show, but the SBA now recognizes Colorado as a relief state. Took 3 hours to fill it out because their site is getting hit so hard. Hopefully we can get some relief in the time we need it, not 4 months from now. And you know, John, thanks for the comment, and keep the comments coming. That's the consensus of what I'm seeing right now. Is hurry up and wait. Is the help going to come, but is it going to come too late? And if it's in the form of a loan, there's got to be some people that are just saying, I don't want any more debt.
I don't want any more debt.
Mm-hmm. You know, where's the bailout type of thing? You're watching the Dr. Sarah Metz from earlier on in the show.
This computer's delayed. This computer's on point. So we're just it's just because we've got the personal Facebook here, the work Facebook here, that, you know.
I understand.
Trying to share as much as we can across the nation.
Jay, who's up next?
Well, I was going to ask you. So we've got everybody's favorite, Johnny Irvin from Gluten Free Things. He's dying to get on and talk.
Johnny's always dying to get on.
Gluten-free coronaviruses.
Let me do
this. He will. And then Nadine Marzarazaric she's scheduled to come on, so she's waiting. And then I'm working on our good friend Dustin Evans from Rocker Spirits, who says he's available, but not until 4:15. So we've got about 10 minutes for the Dustin thing.
Well, let me do this. I want to talk to you guys about a couple of folks that, if you like this programming, it's very difficult to keep it on right now, but our sponsors are just stepping up to be able to help out. And one of them being Bruised Beers. Here's what they're doing to pivot. They do have tap room hours. They're from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And this is to all of their loyal customers and hopefully new customers. They said it's with heavy hearts that they'll both of their tap rooms for on-site consumption for the next 30 days. However, it is not lost. They ensure that their badass Belgium-style beers will be there for your consumption. So at both locations, they're doing to-go with credit cards only. Don't bring that dirty money.
Nobody wants the dirty money right now.
Credit cards only. The following items is what they're going to be doing curbside. This is to go. How cool is this? Crowlers bottles, chips, popcorn, and pizza while supplies last. Of course, gift cards and kegs. Kegs. Did you get your keg?
Yeah. No, they were bringing up. They said they may need a little more notice with kegs, but they do have kegs. So when you have your virtual parties, you can have like virtual college parties with them, basically. Except keep it under 10, please, per household.
And speaking about virtual parties, more and more these days, people want to keep the party alive, whether you're a church, an educational platform. That you need to get your message out there. You need to connect with your students or your congregation. We've got an idea for you. It's an event streaming solution. Have you recently been faced with canceling a speaking engagement or an educational class? Now's the perfect time to stream your content online. The experts at Event Streaming Solution are there and standing by to answer your questions. They can help with educational institutions, churches, business seminars, and anyone who has a message that they need broadcasted. Like 291, they could use event streaming solution.
Absolutely.
They want to do a lot of things and get out their messages more and more. The professionals can help you get down the road. Audio and video capabilities, everything you're going to need. ESS strives to bring customized content creation at a very competitive price. Don't risk losing your voice right now. Contact Event Stream Solution today for a quote. It's real easy. It's Event Streaming Solution. No S at the end. Event Streaming Solution at gmail.com. Give them a call or look them up. They'll be happy to talk to you about your needs. That's fantastic. Day 4, as it's getting weird and the walls are closing in on us, and the government says, government officials say it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's real heartwarming, isn't it?
It's not, but we have had some people who are looking on the other side of it today and who have some optimism, and we really need that right now. So keep that positivity coming. warm up your friends and family who are feeling down. I mean, we're talking about mental health too, along with that. And we need the help. We need it now. But what can we do in the interim to ensure that we personally don't crash?
Nerves are raw right now. And
people are working from home. Spouses are working from home together with their kids from home. So I can just imagine the chaos
turn on each other.
Don't
turn
Go
on
for a walk.
Take a deep breath. This will pass.
It will pass.
And
we have resources coming.
We had a great expert on today. Dr. Sarah Metz joined us. I think Jay fell in love immediately when she was on. But
unfortunately,
intimidated
Jay, she's married.
You, right? Yeah, she's married.
She's married, Jay. Jay's having a love day.
He is.
He found candy. I mean, he's got a few things going today.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far. I'm just trying to take advantage of people when I have them cornered on a broadcast. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Hey, how you doing? You like being on this thing? Yeah. So, how about we go out later?
Are you lonely during all this?
Yeah, that's right. You want a new? No.
Jay, you should do virtual dates.
Yeah.
Virtual dates?
Yeah, I can set you up on some.
Well, I mean, we can ask Nadine if I should be doing
Nadine.
virtual dates. I don't think anybody wants that.
Idle Wild Spirits. Nadine joins us. Nadine, say your last name.
Marushchak. I know. There's a lot of consonants smashed together in it.
I love it. A couple of C's with a Z and another
That's
thing.
exactly how I said
He's got the full alphabet in there. It's fine.
Yes, I really do. 10, full 10 letters there. So, yeah.
Thanks for joining the stream today. We're just trying to go wall to wall and be that light on in the night. It's dark for a lot of people out there, and we're listening to businesses as it's a hurry up and wait scenario that we're in. And there's a lot of pivoting and adapting going on. And we did talk to Michael Myers and Philip Raleigh from 291. It looks like there's not a care in the world with those guys right now.
You wouldn't know any difference.
That's right. What's your temperature, Nadine?
Yeah, so, we're definitely not taking this lightly. And even before the restaurants were closed statewide on Monday, we were taking precautions. Even staff, if they were feeling a little bit ill, sending people home, sanitizing extra hard, after turning over tables and things like that. And I know the production room where Jeff and our production manager Stuart they're taking more care. I mean, obviously lots of sanitation goes on there anyway, but just being more mindful to keep that 6 feet apart and everything like that. But so Denver, as we all know, announced the restaurant closures on Monday morning around 11 a.m. And then by 4:45, Governor Polis announced the closures for the rest of the state. And we are a little lucky in this situation because we have a kitchen. So we are trying to promote the takeout and delivery services and offering, curbside pickup. And, if you want to buy a bottle, feel free to add that to your tab and we'll bring that out to you. And I know a lot of other distilleries that aren't necessarily in our situation with the kitchen are also staying open to try to promote that curbside bottle and merch pickup and things like that to promote business while we're in this, So it's been quite a ride, I would say, for the last couple of days, but we're just trying to, watch the news, follow the facts, and stay on top of it to the best of our abilities. So. It's a little rough, but I think there's been so much support in the community, and I know you guys had Kevin on earlier, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Kevin with friends and family, and the Colorado Distillers Guild has sent out several tools and resources for the hospitality industry and ways that we can do job attached unemployment and have our employees file for that, as well as just a myriad of other, resources for hospitality employees in this time of need. So on the sales front, it's kind of weird because right as the Colorado restaurants and bars closed, there was a huge, huge surge to the liquor stores, which is nice. And a lot of stores in Denver and even up in our county, they're doing a lot to support local. I know Molly's this week, they actually sent out their emails supporting local products, promoting and putting those products on sale and things like that. So we're looking for any opportunity to still have a revenue stream. So outside sales and bottle sales to liquor stores are still on the table, and we're trying to push as hard as we can. But it's definitely we're gonna see. I don't know how sustainable this is gonna be, and if we go into any further lockdown or a shelter in place situation, those revenue streams go away. So I guess we'll find out.
Now, you guys have a fabulous menu. I've eaten at your establishment. It's beautiful. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, multiple times. The food is on point. It's just...
In Winter Park.
In Winter Park. It's amazing.
Love it.
What have you guys done to modify your menu, or are you keeping it the same until, you kind of deplete certain things?
What's your seasonal menu, Nadine?
Yeah, so right now, we actually, to answer your question, we are working through our existing inventory, and then Jeff and I and our kitchen are kind of staying in touch every day to see if we do need to develop something a little bit more approachable. We do have some sandwiches and things like that on the menu now, like our Spirit Burger, which we actually partner with a ranch up in Granby called Hay Hook Ranch. And we give all of our spent mash to Hay Hook and the farmers there to give to the cows, and they really love it, which is great. And then when it's time to come to the slaughterhouse, we do get our pick, but we pay the farmers for that too. So trying to keep local to the source, and most of our meat, except I think everything but the bulgogi style spare ribs right now, are from Hay Hook, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, we do classic things like we do 3 times wings where we smoke them and then fry them twice. We do so it's a lot of labor of love. We do crispy Brussels. We hand make our own French fries. And then really we're from scratch kitchen. So all of our sauces, our demi-glace, our dressing, and all of that, we try to incorporate our spirits into that as well. So it's great. We've had some support just getting the word out about being open during this time, staying very active on social media as you guys are as well. And so yeah, it's just, I think though next week after this weekend we'll kind of get a pulse on what that will look like, and if we'll move away from some more of those entree dishes to maybe accommodate something I call it approachable, but really more like takeout delivery friendly. So because we take a lot of pride in our plating and stuff like that. So, putting everything for us into a small takeout box, it's like, oh.
I know. It's kind of sad, right? Especially, you should see the presentation. It just comes so beautifully done. And
now I'm hungry.
I know. Nadine, we got to get some food down here from you guys. You guys have great stuff. And it's beautiful. You got to get up there when things get back to normal and they're able to really seat you. It's just, absolutely. And they've got a great footprint too.
Nadine Madzabezek joins us. I know, Nadine. I just did that. It's just
no, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Little bit of humor.
Hard.
Okay, so having employees, especially in a resort town, is difficult to begin with.
Right.
What's the temperature right now in Winter Park as far as workers and layoffs and unemployment? What are we looking at there?
Yeah, for sure. So, right now, mid-March for us is a really good time. Normally, for skiers and riders to come for the tourism industry. This is spring break right now, right? And so last year, March was one of our best months. So they're taking a big hit right now. I would say though too, the resort employees as well are suffering because they had, with the resort being closed for the rest of the season or foreseeable future, we have people leaving the valley, both tourists and employees alike, but searching for the unemployment, but then also like people like Kevin and other resources, people are offering other means of work. And actually, Jeff is very crafty, I would say. And, we have production as well, like on site. So we're trying, we asked all of our employees if they need any help, please reach out to us, because we do have things in production, like help with bottling, and we write some of our like spirit names onto our small batch spirits. So having somebody in the production room to assist with that kind of thing, and maybe some deep cleaning, maybe in the restaurant and things like that, trying to get creative with creating ways to get employees hours during this time period. At the same time, we're kind of lucky because some of our front of house staff has full-time jobs and we're their second job, but that's not the case everywhere else. And I've heard some other distilleries all across Denver, they're doing that job, laying people off, doing job attached unemployment and options like that. So it's not pretty, Greg, right now. As with being a resort town, most of the tourism is coming from the service industry, the bars, the restaurants, and things like that. But we're just kind of trying to get creative, I would say. And I think most of the businesses that can stay open are staying open. Like there's a bunch of breweries in Winter Park too that don't necessarily distribute their beer, but they're staying open from like 3 to 7, just offering to-go services and giving employees hours that way. So although we're not, able to be open for dining purposes and congregate in groups larger than 10 at this point, we're trying to, be a little bit creative, like I keep saying, in ways to get employees hours and keep people with a paycheck for a little bit of time.
So if people need to get out and they just need a break, drive up to Winter Park, grab it to go, sit somewhere on the mountain, have a nice meal, bring a bottle back with you, and get your ass home. But if you got to get out and have a nice drive, you're not, there you go. That's a place to go.
Terrible idea at all.
It may come down to I might start losing it down here and have to come up for an escape. So I'll let you know, Nadine.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. I know we'll be appreciative of any business at this time, any support for us, and just really, Greg, you guys know so many distillers across the state of Colorado and how passionate this community is about staying local to the source, staying true to Colorado, and really any support that we can get at this time via customers, patrons, like whether they're at the tasting rooms or just buying our spirits in the liquor stores all across the state. Any help really helps everyone. So, because we don't know where we're going to be tomorrow or next week.
None of us do. Yeah.
No.
All right, I'll buy a barrel.
Okay.
Sold. Sold. I'll be back to pick it up. Can you throw some fries in a to-go container for me?
Their fries are really good. The Brussels are good.
Nadine, take care of yourself.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
appreciate you. Thanks, Nadine. Take
Bye.
care. Virtual hug.
Bye. Yes.
See you, Nadine. It's cool to hear how people are pivoting right now.
Yeah, everybody's got to get creative.
In there.
Survival, right? Like thriving as best they can during a survival mode.
Yeah, you guys stick around. If you're watching any one of these streams from various Facebooks, you'll want to head over to the Modern Eater Facebook page and watch the stream there. You can give questions, comments, any kind of feedback that you want to. But coming up next, she just pinged me. Her name's Sonia Riggs. She's the president and CEO of the Colorado Restaurant Association. A lot of people are looking for updates. The CRA is doing a great job of lobbying and doing what they can to get into lawmakers' ears in order to get some of these relief packages sent through. And off the CRA, I had it here a little bit early. This was a bit confusing to me because I thought that these plans were already in place, but they sent out an action alert earlier on in the day. And what they wanted is for members and basically everyone, what they're looking for is to ensure restaurant relief is addressed in the economics rescue package. So what they're trying to get passed is through Congress is an economic rescue package that Trump's administration estimates will be around $1.3 trillion. And this is something that they're asking folks to jump on board and act now and sign a petition. Again, I'm a little confused because I thought that the ball was already in motion and that these things were being addressed right now. But today's theme is where's the help? And as small businesses hurry up and wait and try and hang on to any hope right now that it's dwindling as the hours and days pass, that coronavirus is seemingly taking its toll on small business because of just basically the survival of cash flow. And even if a small business loan is presented to you, is it something that you would even want to have and get saddled with more debt as you continue?
You're barely getting by. I mean,
especially in restaurants,
right?
Yeah, restaurants and bars, is very difficult to even have a profitable establishment, and the proposition of what is it going to look like if I take out a small business loan in order to, why not just throw the keys on the table and walk the door and regroup at a later time? A sad, terrible proposition to be faced with, but more that agony seems to be the path of least resistance at this point, and that's terrible. That's terrible. I think people are looking for grants and reliefs of in the way of a bailout.
They want a bailout.
And you know what? Here's the thing. I don't even see it as a bailout. And just like Chef Brother Luck, I keep going back to because that statement rings in my head. We didn't even do anything to jack this up. This isn't at our own hands. We've worked so hard to get where we're at. A bailout almost seems to be malicious to say that, because truly the bailouts that we've seen in the past are from folks that are careless.
We were an industry that provided an economy. I mean, that's where it's so frustrating, right? I mean, we have people working on such thin margins who do what they do because they love it and they have a passion and they love the people, and they're suffering now for something that they did not create.
I saw Brother Luck's wife, Tina, just like our broadcast. I hope she's watching. Chef Brother Luck's always been one of those guys that he was there for comment whenever you needed a comment. Monday, when I believe he posted a video, it was heartbreaking to see him just devastated because of having to lay off most, if not all, of his employees. Just terrible. Sonia Riggs pinged me and said she's trying to jump into the stream now. So hopefully and momentarily we'll...
Now's the time too, you guys, to share our feed,
get the word out.
The live word, because having Sonia Riggs come on is getting the information straight from the source. Mm-hmm. And that's the time where you can ping us on our live feed through the Modernator on Facebook and get those questions asked. We may not get all the answers today, but we can at least start, feeding them through.
Yeah, as promised. Here she is joining us. Very busy day, and we can't thank you enough, as always. CEO and president of the Colorado Restaurant Association.
Greg?
Her name is Sonia Riggs. And hello, Sonia. Can you hear
Sonia.
us?
This is not working.
Sonia, do we have the audio there?
Something popped up
on the computer there at a very important time. I don't know what that is. But Sonia, give us a thumbs down. You can't hear us. Can you hear us at all? We can hear you, I believe. The other night we had this same difficulty with Sonia, I believe, because we could. Can you hear us, Sonia? No. Oh man. We did this last night, or a couple of nights ago.
And they're all flowing together.
And she changed her. I'm going to text Sonia right now and see if she can use another phone. Sonia, can you hear us?
Hi. Yes.
Oh, perfect. You
Hi.
can hear us. Great. Thank you, Sonia. Hi.
Okay, there she is. We'll get straight to work right now. Sonia, the theme of today, and with my ear to the ground, I field calls in the morning, and small businesses and chef owner operators and restaurateurs are saying right now, where is the help, and hurry up and wait. There is no relief in sight.
No,
and I don't,
not true.
And I don't believe what anybody's telling me right now. Sonia, how do we clear that up?
Well, first of all, please tell them to rest assured. I would say to folks, we have been on the phone and on email communication consistently on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day with local, state, and had a phone call just a couple hours ago, and he sent some ideas that he's working through. So step one, the way that the federal government's working on this is they really had kind of three steps that they were trying to carry all of this relief out in. Number one was about getting testing and the resources they need for the CDC out there. That was the very first step. Step number two was getting the employee relief, which you probably saw the email we sent out about that last night, updating people on this paid sick leave program, which unfortunately does have to be processed and administered by the employers. But step three, which I anticipate they will probably have something within the next day or two. And again, I'll talk to you a little bit about the draft I saw, but again, they're still negotiating it. So this isn't anything. But this is direct relief to employers. One of the what I generally saw was literally providing a loan to employers to be able to keep people employed that they would 100% forgive should they continue to employ these people over the next couple of months. So meaning it's really a grant in essence. So that's very top of mind in the U.S. House and Senate, and I expect this very soon. www.corestaurant.org. We are giving update. We're putting up, and when you go to the homepage, it says coronavirus. Just click on that. All of our updates are being listed there daily, multiple times a day. We're updating information as we know it, minute by minute. So that's all my entire staff is doing all day, every day at this point. I hope that offers some of. We very, very much expect a relief package.
Having just
we're having
a bit of issues breaking in and out. No, you're fine. You're fine as we navigate through this together. You say soon. Yeah, I can hear you now, Sonia. Can you hear us?
I can.
Okay. You say soon. I think folks are getting very antsy right now. Is there a time frame on any of this type of relief? And even if that relief is offered, at what point in time, how long would the processing take place?
Well, let me tell you a couple of the things I've been hearing about. So it would be immediate or as quickly as possible. I would guess within a week. I will tell you that I expect to see something within probably 24 to 48 hours on the relief side for businesses. But it's happening on the federal level. We're working on other ways to help at the state level. So I've been talking to insurance carriers. I got off the phone with Pinnacle this afternoon. We've been talking to the governor's office consistently and other partners on what are things that you can do to alleviate the cash issues basically that restaurants are facing now, right? Whether it's, not, and we're reaching out to Excel, we're reaching out to a number of partners to say, what can you do to hold off on requiring payments that these businesses, when they have 90% of their income lost, right? How are they going to pay anything, and where do you begin? So what things that they're in Colorado, employees are obviously scared and like, where are they going to pay their rent? Where are they going to get income if they're not working? We're hearing that the state is looking moving up the unemployment claims from 4 to 6, as little as a week, that people can actually get their money. So just know that everybody's doing what they can. And as we get those announcements, we will continue to forward them out to people. The other thing is we anticipate the governor or the state to be able to allow takeout and delivery orders to include alcohol. That's another thing we've really been pushing for. We've been hearing from customers and frankly citizens looking to not have to go anywhere, right? Or do curbside pickup or delivery, that kind of thing. But if alcohol can be included in that, that's something that we along with other partners have really been pushing. So we're hoping to hear some positive news on that pretty quickly as well. Already seeing other states start to do it, and we'd like Colorado to follow suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's at least a little income, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we have bars and restaurants and cocktail lounges specifically that we've touched on that don't do any other service like takeout. So to be able to sell a bottle of wine, but I don't know, would that include that they'd have to buy a meal in order to purchase that? Are there restrictions that they're looking at?
Some kind of food is what we're suggesting. Some kind of food. It can be a side order of French fries or something. But again, I'm telling you what we anticipate until we actually see the ruling come out. I can tell you what we're pushing for. We're pushing for beer, wine, and spirits, frankly, because if you put it in a cup and put a piece of tape on it, that should be fine to be able to deliver it. But so we'll see what they come up with.
Sonia, if we still have you, I ask you this question every time I talk to you, but what is the tone of the calls that you're fielding at the Colorado Restaurant Association right now?
It's a damn internet.
Sonia? Oh, she's gone. Okay. Good, good
some
information.
answers are better than none, though. I mean, that's really good information.
Hi, Sonia. Oh.
Now we can't hear her again.
Now we can't hear you. Sonia, if you can hear us, we can't hear you right now. The same deal. So we're going to let you get back to work, Sonia, if you can hear us. Thank you so much. We're going to check in with you tomorrow if we can as well. Virtual hug. Thanks, Sonia. Talk to you soon. Okay, Sonia Riggs.
I mean, that is a woman who is working 24/7 and takes the time to get on the horn with us to give the community a little bit of ease for some of this angst.
She's earning her money, that's for sure. And it must be Rebecca Berry, Greg Hollenbach here, Studio Kitchen, Colorado. It's the 4th day of this agonizing journey as we all just try and navigate these roads together and collect as much information as we possibly can. Rebecca, it must be an agonizing job for her because she's in that same holding pattern of waiting for information to come back, of collecting information from people and getting the sentiment of what people need in front of the lobbyists that can actually find some of that relief. So thank you for that mechanism in place with the Colorado Restaurant Association. And she's just a gem along with her staff.
She is. And, I have to say, my company, on the 4th day here, actually, we are proud sponsors of you guys, but also proud sponsors of the CRA and heavily involved. I talk to those guys personally at least once or twice a week during our normal state of life or the past normal. And they work so hard to ensure that our industry thrives, that they're going to bat for us in the right ways. And it's tough right now. They are an organization that is just top notch. And I mean, I got an email at 11:30 last night, and then updates first this morning. Keep in mind, you guys, when they go through, they have to go and critique everything, make sure the information's correct, have somebody type it up, make sure that there's no typos or errors. I mean, this is not just a quick email; it's an all-day event for them.
John Irvin coming up here soon from Gluten Free Things, and again another small business talking about what they're doing to survive and pivot, and those are the types of stories. If you're a small business out there and you'd like to have your voice heard on the Modern Eater Show, please reach out to the producer, Jay Parker, right there. His email is jay@themoderneater.com, jay@themoderneater.com. If you have any ideas or comments or feedback, Jay would be happy to connect with us right here in the stream. Throughout the days we've had, since we've started the wall-to-wall coverage, of course, the Modern Eater Show airs every Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m., right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, but on our iHeart Radio affiliate, 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station right here. That's our normal hours, but we've been going wall-to-wall just as much as we possibly can. Trying to keep that light on for you at night so that you got information, a sense of community, and just knowing that we're going to try and get you valuable information when it comes. We've had great guests on throughout the days. We'll continue to do that. Today's show has been absolutely awesome, opening it up with Dr. Sarah Metz. And the doctor she works in with first responders and police officers and those types of people in high stress jobs. And what we're seeing right now is so stressful. But
it is.
When this broadcast ends, we will You'll have the ability to watch from the beginning if you missed out on all of that. But I would encourage you, check the past podcast, because we are monitoring this day by day, and the tone and the sentiments and the truths change moment to moment.
It does really moment to moment. And again, we want to hear what you need to hear, what you're feeling, ideas you have, anything we can support.
Crazy John Irvin.
Hey, John. How's it
What's
going?
happening?
Swerving Irvin. Swerving right into the broadcast right now.
Now I'm really going to be hungry after talking about wings, and now we've got some good gluten-free stuff going on.
I know, that's your jam.
That is my jam.
Gluten-free Things, a dedicated gluten-free and vegan bakery in Arvada. John Irvin, the mad scientist, joins us. And Rebecca, you even said self-admittedly, John makes some good stuff.
John, you do. I am a sucker for John's gluten-free products, and I was eating them before I ever met John, actually, to be honest. And they are some of the best. And then I tried the cookies and the pita when I was here with him the first time, and it's great product, and it's a great option too. If you can't, it's really hard right now for us to find gluten-free product in the stores. It really, truthfully is. And unless you're going to try to attempt to make your own, you got to get with this guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's got great flavor.
All right, that's it. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
We'll see you next time.
John, what's your favorite product that you make?
What's that?
What's your favorite product that you make?
Oh, let's see. Well, I don't make money, but that's what my favorite product is.
Well, that's all of our favorites, and especially the industries right now.
Yeah, I would. You know what? I'll tell you something. I don't base what I make or what I like based on what I like, because I like liver and onions, and most people don't. And so what I do is what I really do like. I mean, every product I've had and I've worked with, like when we did a couple weeks ago, did chicken and waffles and stuff. I like our waffles, the breading for our chicken. Like last night, my wife made some chicken and actually fish bread with our all-purpose flour. And then, our cookies are good. I
love those cookies.
Being around food 24/7, my wife's always asking me, well, how come you don't eat your own bread? And I'm like, I do taste it. But the thing is, you're around it so much. It's kind of like, I baked donuts when I was 18 for a short period. And I really haven't liked donuts since. So it's one of the things. But, I mean, today I actually ate one of I was doing chocolate cupcakes. And we're still producing and all that kind of good stuff. And I ate a cupcake, which I really don't do very often, but I just was like, hey, I'm going to give it a try, and it was fantastic. I mean, it's really, really good.
Hey, Johnny, can you eat the can you eat the chocolate cupcake dough raw like you can the cookie dough?
Yes.
Ooh, and do you have the cookie dough and that cupcake in stock right now?
Yes.
Oh, Jay, I got to go make a field trip tomorrow.
Our with respect to our cookie doughs, my most popular is probably the chocolate chip, of course. We also do red velvet and chocolate chip and do the oatmeal. But I started seeing that about 50% of my customers, I'd ask them, well, hey, how you like it? Because really, when it comes down to, if they don't like it, I'm not going to make it. And so one lady told me a few months back, was like, well, I've only made one cookie. And I knew she had not been here and she was buying more. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, every night she takes a scoop of the chocolate chip cookie dough, and that's her like ice cream for the evening. That's her dessert.
Ooh, no, that's how I don't. So I am guilty of eating cookie dough and just actually never making the cookies.
We're all guilty.
Well,
I never actually make a cookie.
Our stuff is actually gluten-free and vegan. So no eggs, no dairy, a lot of the stuff. Ours is bakeable and also edible, which a lot of the edible cookie doughs on the market now, you can't bake them and stuff. But, I've got a great customer base, good, we've got all kinds of restaurants and stuff like that. Got a store downtown, Choice Market, who's been on the show, a lot of walk-in customers and stuff like that. They're the ones who tell me whether my products are good or not. And, that allows me to make some money and go eat some liver and onions or some chicken and waffles at home.
Okay, John, what are you doing with your business to be able to pivot to stay alive and relevant and get all that good stuff out to everybody?
Well, we've always been doing online, online deliveries and online, shipping and that stuff. I've been doing that for years, since probably about 2013. We started January 2012. But, right now, I'm very positive about this. I think that in about a week or so, I think things are going to clear up. The president just announced they found that anti-malaria drug was actually something that would cure. They had some great effects over in France.
Well, let's test that on you first. Let's test that on you first.
What's that?
Let's test that on you first.
Sure, I don't have no problem with that. We can give it a, you got to understand, me being Syrian, SARS, Syrian Army.
Oh no.
That we already went through that, so I'm actually immune to the
Focus, John Irvin. Focus.
No, but but with respect to what we're doing, I'm moving straight forward. I'm not. We're baking just as much as we were.
Are you selling?
Up. I got a lot of people coming in. I got a lot of customers that are coming in buying stuff because stuff's out of the grocery stores. Gluten-free is hard to find. I got a great following, and so we're just making food, until I end up making this place so stocked up I can't do it. But
nice.
And also I've already modeled. To be all honest, I've modeled our business based on. I was an engineer before this, and I was actually a project manager for projects like the Pueblo Chemical Depot and different kinds of situations like with the newspapers. And with the newspaper, you can't if things don't go right for you, you can't put today's newspaper out tomorrow. And with the Pueblo Chemical Depot project, that was with some dangerous stuff, and so we always looked at risk management. And so I don't wait for the risk when the disaster happens. I have to play through and figure out, okay, what are my risks and what are our solutions to them? And so, not that
you're ready for a disaster at any moment, at any time, any day.
Yeah,
John Irvin.
The electricity goes out. What am I going to do?
I don't know. What are you going to do? Yeah, what's your disaster plan for electricity, John? Well, I have a feeling I have a feeling you don't have one.
What's that?
You don't have a disaster plan for anything.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I do. No, I'm serious. When I broke my ankle September 1st, racing my alcohol-fueled dragster,
I hate John Irvin, Jay Parker here, man. We're
losing it.
Hey, listen, I'm glad to hear that you're back there making a ton of products, because I would just like to throw my name in the hat that if you do start to get backed up and you're missing, your shelves are filling up with, if you want to put like a 5-gallon bucket of that chocolate cupcake batter in your truck, I can take that off your hands for the reasonable price of $10.
Hey, Jay, we got to have it here.
No, you don't. This is not between. I don't know what Rebecca's talking about. This has nothing to do with Rebecca.
As I'm having this conversation,
her appetite.
It must be Armageddon if everybody's rushing to get the gluten free right now.
Right.
No, man, that's good stuff, man.
The thing about it is that, I do have some risk management with respect to, but there's been a lot of disasters. We had 36 inches of snow years ago. There's a lot of things. I've been through 10 hurricanes in my life. I've had a lot of different things happen, and you know what? You get through these things. Money is, what they say they can't take it with you and all that kind of good stuff. But I think we're going to get through this, and I think in about another week or two, we're going to actually. I think people are very innovative, and I think that a lot of the restaurants are going to become very innovative. The customers are going to start doing pickups and all that kind of stuff. I got to look at a positive outlook on this. Yeah. It's what else do you have to do? You can sit around and bite your.
Well, I'm glad you're so optimistic, because your rent or your sponsorship check will cash then.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Keep supporting the modern eater, and then folks, if you need gluten free Gluten-free Things has got you covered. Glutenfreethings.com is where you can find them online. And also you can make a trip up. One of the cool things that you got going for you right now, John, is you got a retail location to where you can sell right out your front door. So give us the address, my friend.
Yeah, we're at 11651 West 64th Avenue, Unit A6. We're across from Arvada West on 64th and Sims in Arvada. And, just go on to glutenfreethings.com and look at everything we have that is gluten-free and also vegan.
And while you stop in, you can, next door, you can donate some plasma.
You can donate plasma.
And then on the other side, you can get a Chinese massage. And
probably not. They're probably closed.
Closed right now.
Yeah, no touchy.
Yeah, I found
no touchy.
Hey,
John, found that out last night at midnight.
Trust
they
me.
shut down.
Wow, Jay.
They're not closed. Just knock on the back door.
Come up here. I'll get them to open the doors up for you.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny, if I have to send some gluten-free items to my mom in California, can I do that from the website?
Oh yeah. We ship all over 48 states, coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
Far out.
That's fantastic. We'll catch up with you soon, John. We miss you.
Hey, miss you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Please stop in.
Okay, John. Virtual hugs.
Yeah, virtual hug,
Thank
dude.
you very much.
Later,
Thanks,
man.
John. Virtual hugs.
Virtual hug?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a virtual hug, a one-arm hug. I hold the camera with the other hand.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, John.
Hey, no problem. Later.
John Irvin right there. Where do you go with that?
Wow.
Where do you go from there? That's John Irvin, the most entertaining man in the world.
I say you go to John's place and get some gluten-free cookie dough. And what is it?
Hang
cake
up,
dough?
John, so we can talk about you. Hang up.
Yeah, we're trying to talk offline about you.
If you guys were going to say anything bad about me, so.
Oh, no.
I'll get you guys later.
Later, man.
Bye, John.
Okay, now we can say bad stuff about him. No, he's
nothing bad to say about Johnny Boy.
He's a great sponsor, makes a great product, great guy. We've got.
He grows on you.
He does.
Man, let me just say this about John. So John calls me this morning, and I couldn't take the call, but he's one of the names that pops up on your phone, and I don't know what it's going to be. And it quite honestly, it might be nothing. The conversation that happens when I call him back may be nothing, but I'm always excited to call him back just because I like talking to him. We get the business done in 10 seconds, and then it's on to, I have to ask him, are you joking? Because he takes a lot of pride in his dry sense of humor. He'll tell people in the kitchen. He'll show up to a Saturday night show. People be kind of lined up to get some sushi, for example, and Jesus was here. And Johnny's the guy to be like, yeah, no, I think some of that's rotten right there, just to move an old woman out of the line so he can go first.
It's usually
and then
Greg's mom.
and then as soon as he's got his helping of sushi, he'll turn around and be like, I was just kidding. Nothing's wrong with the sushi. It's delicious.
Well, I think we beat the hell out of this stream to death today.
Today we did for sure.
And such a great job. But here it is. I'm assuming I haven't looked outside, but it's still snowing out.
Yes, it is. I can see it from here.
Right now are those times where it's like, oh, man, not only is it just dreary and cold and depressing, but all of this is going on, and I'm broke, and I'm hungry.
That's everybody right now, Greg. That's why we're here.
Man,
we're part of the same crew.
It's not everybody. I mean, it's the majority, right? But I would just like to give, a hello to the people that aren't suffering. I was on a FaceTime with a friend of mine last night, out of state, right? How's it going? Oh, everything's great. I live in my friend's house, a sibling's house, right? I live in my brother's house. Their salary's into the 7 figures, so we're okay. And I have a job and the restaurants aren't closed and so on. And it's like,
you're right.
Those people still exist, and bless them. And more power to you. I mean, I hate them with a true hate, but it's sheerly out of jealousy, right? I like to be clear where I'm hatred from.
Pretty much just all food industry and service industry, we're just all miserable right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much us.
Yeah.
Together, though.
I mean, I was miserable before, so.
That's true.
You know what this does? This just gives me something to complain about, down the road to somebody else's kids, because
it'll be that
it won't be my kid, but I'll be like, listen,
age.
Let me tell you how terrible my life is and was,
What are you eating tonight, Jack?
I have a 3-day-old Chipotle burrito that's in the fridge. I'm going to put it in my toaster oven.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, listen, man, I bought a toaster oven because of you and the one behind me over here talking to me how microwaves kill everything and I can't put anything in a microwave. Don't heat up your water for coffee in a microwave because you'll get cancer from the water and the microwave. And now I still use a microwave, just not as much. But I'll be putting a Chipotle burrito inside of my toaster oven. I'm going to slice it down the middle so that the heat can try to penetrate the inside of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and because of you and the microwave, so now when I make my tortilla chips, right? And I know this is ridiculous, but when I make my tortilla chips, my Raquelitas tortilla chips, now I bake them because you guys say don't put them in the microwave.
You still have nutrients left in it after you do that. That's good.
I bake it 17 minutes, 350.
Make sure you wrap that burrito in foil so you don't dry. That's one thing about a toaster oven.
It'll dry it out.
It'll dry out.
I use my toaster oven all the time for everything. I love it.
If there was a fly on the wall in my house, the last thing anybody would ever say is make sure you wrap it up so it doesn't dry out. It's like the conversation would be, did you see that he ate that off of his coffee table with nothing underneath it besides the wood from the coffee table?
And Jay's questioning why he's single.
No, Jay's not questioning that. Jay is completely aware of all his shortcomings.
Well, it's just like in Goodfellas, where
I'm just honest about it. That's the problem. I should be lying to every woman I ever talk to. I should just bold-faced lie about everything. But I have this weird habit of telling the truth. And so when they say, like, oh, well, where did you get that? I'm like, I stole it. Yeah, I stole it. It was free.
What a bizarre conversation.
I don't know why.
This is what happens when I get caffeine, and if you give me an opportunity to talk, which is ironic because I control all the cameras. You think I'd do this more often, but I don't.
Andrew Jeffrey joined the stream late. Where you been, Andrew? Where you been, Andy? What have you been doing?
He's been working and taking care of the dog like a good stay-at-home working boyfriend should do.
Turn your phone and put it on vibrate if you're going to have your phone ring at 4:45 a.m.
I wanted to kill him this morning.
Not to give out your personal stuff. What are you guys eating for dinner?
I'm kind of sad because we had Andy and I love wings, right? And I have some that are frozen right now, and I've got the great blonde beard sauce at home. But
don't we have the Bob's defrost here? Jay, what do we do with that Bob's defrost?
I have it.
Yeah,
at home?
That doesn't help. It doesn't help because my
it's
wings...
not at home. Although I did contemplate losing that at my house, but no, I left it here. It's here. Oh yeah, far out. You have something to defrost.
So here's where I was going. I'm going to do the wings later when it's because I need to use the grill and it's snowing out. But so what I was going to do, I was like, Stoney's is like super close to my house. So I just pinged Stoney. I said, "Are you guys open?" And they're not. And I'm devastated.
Oh, no.
So now I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to see.
Andy, you got a hungry one coming
Well, Andy just said bring on them wings. So
you
Andy,
guys want to come over for some Chipotle?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Toaster oven.
So I don't know. I guess we'll figure out. We've got plenty of meat in the freezer and who knows, but yeah, I'm kind of bummed.
Hopefully y'all are going to eat well tonight. That's one of the things where, if you're going to eat, do it up and maybe put something healthy in your body if you can.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to do this again tomorrow. 2:00 is what we're shooting for every day, 2 to 5.
Monday through Friday, other than our scheduled Saturdays.
Yeah. And then I don't know if I'll take Sunday off. I probably won't. I'll probably do this 7 days a week.
You can phone me in on Sunday for a little bit, but I'm taking this weekend to have a little downtime with everything that's been going on.
Selfish.
I know.
I'll be here for you, though.
I'm always
Rebecca
here for you guys.
Some of her time. Jay says
Jay'll be out driving you folks around if you need a lift.
Yeah.
And I may do some I actually signed up to be an Instacart shopper, and it did say that my card came today. So for those who need groceries and are on the Instacart delivery, I just told Jay about it today, and he said, "What's Instacart?"
Yeah, what is it?
So it's a delivery service for groceries. And essentially you go and shop and drop it off at somebody's house. You can leave it on their front door. They give you a loaded card. So it works with the transaction of what that person had ordered. So you're not
pulling
saying
money. You're buying us groceries?
No. If you guys are paying Instacart, then I am.
I see. I thought we were about to get something there free here. I didn't.
Nope. Nothing's free in this day now. I mean, look, people are struggling. We used to get all kinds of free stuff, free samples, free swag.
I know, nothing.
Nothing. We've got, a couple sausages back there, and I saw some pieces of fish or chicken with maybe some frost. I don't know what's going on in the bottom of the freezer, but
Oh no,
all that's legitimate stuff, good stuff.
I think that there's some frozen gluten-free things back there too. Aren't those English muffins?
Oh, that I don't know.
I don't know.
I've been hounding John for the sweet side of it, which, it's delicious. All his stuff's delicious.
Next couple of days,
I want cookie dough.
I foresee will this relief actually come? I'm anxious to track how small businesses are going to be able to navigate in the next week or two. And I think what we're going to hear is a lot of people that probably throw the towel in, and it's going to be terrible. But along with that business and how we're navigating, it's changing moment to moment. If you've got great ideas that are working for you and your business in order to get over this hump or however long it's going to be, please share them with us and share it with others, because we'd like for us to all be around after this. Okay, it is 5:00 on the dot.
Woo!
And
one more thing, Greg, real quick. I just want to throw out again, as people are doing, as we keep, just a quick little plug. But in all seriousness, if you guys need unemployment questions answered on how to handle it within your business, please reach out to me, Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. We want to be consultative at a time like this. Feel free to ping them on my Facebook page, LinkedIn, however we can best support you. Right. This is a time where we do have experts who can guide you to do the right thing, so that as things come back, you're not hurting from right now as bad as you might be.
Yeah. So. And do it now. Don't wait.
Exactly.
And if Rebecca's offering that, to give her a holler and she'll talk to you about it.
Free of charge. You don't have to be a customer. We're just happy to help you.
This isn't a joke, or Jay being Jay. If we have time one of these days before show, after show, would you help me with the unemployment thing? Well, hey, listen,
it's
man.
Overwhelming.
I haven't even clicked on it, and I'm overwhelmed. That's why I'm saying. Yeah. Or in your professional opinion, and seriously, shoot me straight on this. Am I intelligent enough to figure this thing out?
You probably are. No, you probably are. It's very overwhelming. Honestly, when I was laid off 3 years ago, I went to go do it, and it was so intense for me. The anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I have high anxiety. That's why I do sales, because I just got to go. But you got to go through it. I'll sit here and walk through it with you, though.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here for. Free of charge. I'm actually paying. We're paying you.
Yeah. So. That's it. All right. Let's hope. Sweet. Wait till you get the bill. Okay. Signing off. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Jay.
Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. Greg@themoderneater.com. And
Jay
at themoderneater.com.
Be safe.
That's it. We'll see you tomorrow.